and welcome to Lux Lux Lucem. I am Frank. The Buck 112 comes in a cardboard box. But before going any further, I'll start by telling you two stories. The 112 is one of the three best-selling buck knives, alongside the 110 Hunter and the 119 Special. The 112 Ranger is a legend among American knives and knives in general. The 112 is history, but it's also a collection of stories. The first and best known story concerns its origin and its name. The 112 was released in 1972, 8 years after the 110. It could have met the expectations of some consumers who were looking for a smaller, lighter knife, but in fact, not at all. It all started here. Yes, on this American aircraft carrier, the CV-61. Two men are fighting, both reportedly pulling out their Buck 110, and at least one of them is stabbed. The captain then makes the decision to ban knives with blades longer than 3 inches. On an American base or on an aircraft carrier, there is always a shop that sells everything, even knives. With this decision, the 110 was banned from base and chipboard stores. Hence the need for buck knives to relieve a smaller 110 that complied with the rule of a blade no longer than 3 inches or 7.6 centimeters. The 112 was born. Hey, did you see the name of that aircraft carrier? The CV-61 Ranger. Even its name comes from there. 112 Ranger. Another much less well-known story also concerns the 112. It's a family story. It concerns C.J. Buck, Chuck's son. C.J. was still a child when the 112 came out, and like in many homes, the Bucks had a junk drawer. You know, the drawer full of useless or half-broken things that you just don't throw away. C.J. was supposed to meet his friends for swimming and diving, and in his childish mind, a diver carries a knife. He finds one in that infamous drawer and puts it in his pocket. When he returns, he realizes he has lost the knife. That knife was the prototype of the Buck 112 that Chuck has stored in that junk drawer. So, the Buck 112 comes in a box. Inside the box is a leather sheet. The leather is quite thick. It's sturdy, as indicated on the box and again on the label inside the sheath. It's imported, in this case from Mexico. It's a smaller version of the one that comes with the 110. It's the kind of sheath that's built to last. It's solid. Now let's move on to the knife itself. The 112 weighs 159 grams or 5.6 ounces, made of steel, brass, and ebony wood. It's a hefty piece of kit, the kind of knife you can really feel in your hand. The blade is 3 inches or 7.6 centimeters long. The knife measures 10.8 centimeters closed and 18.2 centimeters open, which is 4 and a quarter inches and 7.16 inches respectively. In terms of size, it's roughly the same size as an Opinel number 8. Weight-wise, it's a different story. It's a solid knife, not the kind you forget you have in a pocket. For the blade, Buck has remained faithful to the clip-point shape of the 110 Hunter. They have also kept the 3mm thickness. It's a beautiful blade made of 420 He steel with a boss heat treatment, the one that made Buck knives famous. Some will tell me that 420 He is a basic steel. Yes, but at least they don't try to pass off a basic steel as a high-end one. No, I am not thinking of back river knives. And besides, for a knife like this, I prefer a simple steel with the white heat treatment to a steel that's more demanding in terms of sharpening. This blade embodies the Buck heritage, from its shape and thickness to its steel and sharpness. A Buck knife arrives razor sharp and is easy to maintain. It's razor sharp right out of the box, and that's a joy to use. You've probably noticed the handle. It has finger grooves. This provides a better grip and minimizes the risk of it slipping. The finger groove on a 112, especially if you have average size hands like mine, is unbeatable. The handle feels molded to your fingers. Buck didn't always offer a finger grooved version. Initially, they didn't, and these modifications were only available from third party companies. Due to its popularity, Buck started offering it on their best selling models. The other advantage of the finger groove is the knife's appearance and overall look. It gives a certain elegance. It lightens its silhouette. Because if you look closely, these grooves catch the light very well and are highly Instagrammable. In other words, it's very photogenic. The 112 Ranger's blade locks in the same way as the 110. It's a backlock. It works in a super simple yet incredibly effective way. On the back of the knife, there is a spring-loaded locking lever. The spring is housed in the back bolster. The lever can only move around a rivet that serves as its pivot point. This is the steel rivet you see on each side of the knife. The three other rivets are only there to hold the handle's sides together. When you open the knife, the hook on the lever engages in a recess in the blade, locking it securely. Simple and effective. And let's not forget that the Ranger can be opened with one hand by holding it by the blade and giving a quick flip. What else can I tell about the 112? I have a real passion for this type of knife. I find it beautiful and practical. Despite its smaller size compared to the 110, it retains all the characteristics that makes the 110 a legend. Easy to sharpen steel and long-lasting edge. The same blade thickness, a whistlingly weighty feel in the hand. It also comes in many different versions: automatic, slim, sport, etc. There were even drop point versions, but this is the one I prefer: the finger groove brass and ebony with its clip point blade. And you, which version do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. It truly has the qualities of a great knife. It has inherited all the attributes of its older sibling, the 110 Hunter. The 112 Ranger is a great little folding knife, and it's a great buck knife. Period. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe. It would make me happy, but you already knew that. Please give it a thumb up if you enjoyed it. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. I am still Frank, and you're still watching Lux Lux Lucem. Take care, and see you soon.